I don't know if you can hear Dottie. She's letting the neighbor dog know that this is her house, apparently. Let's look at what you have today. Today is Friday. I guess let's start there, actually. You do have materials to drop off today and pick up some more. If you do not go between 3 and 6 this afternoon to St. Mary's, please head over on Monday. I believe the time is from 8 to 11. I am also looking for some materials to be turned in, and then you'll be picking up materials as well. To turn in, we're done with our Journeys textbook, so that textbook can be turned in. The Hound Dog True book, our book report's done, so you can turn in that book. If you notice that you have library books at home, please return those, and any battle books can also be turned in because our school year is unfortunately done. So those books need to be turned in. If workbook pages or packet activities were completed in the workbook or on paper, you can turn those in. However, if the packet activities were done on the computer, no need to turn them in, just keep them. Any that were completed should be turned in. You will be picking up some materials. The Reader's Magazine is what we will use for reading. Senora Larrabee asked for the Spanish folder to go home for some activities in the future, so if you have questions about that, you can gear it towards Senora Larrabee. We have a packet for next week as well as the week after of materials for you to pick up. I did include the Scholastic News and Venture magazines for you to take home simply as a resource. It's not an assignment, but something interesting to read, something geared towards math. I think all of those are always good. And then I added a postcard, just for fun. All right, let's look at our assignments today. So it's Friday. We're done with polygons. We're going to be working on triangles next and into next week as we're continuing geometry. Our triangle's funny. As we're working on shapes. We talked yesterday about congruent, which quit making Mama laugh so much. We talked yesterday about congruent in polygons. We're going to be talking about how to classify triangles, and you might remember this a little bit from 4th grade. I do have a video for the Khan Academy series that you can check out. And all of these are about triangles. So if this first video is not enough, you can continue to keep going. They even have some practice problems that you can complete, and they give immediate feedback. So you can go all the way through if you're looking for help with those. But basically we're working on classifying or naming a triangle based on what the sides look like and what the angles look like. And we have 3 names for the sides: equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. And then we have 3 ways to name them by their angles: acute, obtuse, and right. And the definitions are there. You also can check out your math textbook that you should still have at home as a resource as well. I believe this is still chapter 15. So we have a triangle, and the first thing you're going to do is just, what are the names that we classify in triangle by their angles? What are the names we use to classify them by their side length? And those are all in the chart up here. So our side length names are angle names. And then I included a video that talks closely about classification as well. So that way when you get to here, you'll have no problem. So we're talking about just for angles really today, when we're getting really into the nitty gritty of the lesson. So it just asks you, oh, the door shut. It just asks you to place a check mark next to the triangles that fit in this category. So which of these triangles have a right angle? A right angle is indicated by this boxy shape. It means it's a perfect right angle. And the way I remember for angle sides between acute and obtuse, obtuse sounds like obese to me. So anything bigger than this 90-degree angle is obtuse. It's a huge angle. Anything that is smaller than 90 is a cute little angle. So that's why, remember, it's little. Now, the way that you name them for an acute and obtuse is if it has one obtuse angle, it's obtuse. If it has all acute angles, it's acute. If it has one right angle, it's a right angle. And it goes really through that with the videos as well. But you're just going to put a check mark. Is this a right triangle? Yes or no? If it is a yes, I'm going to drag a check mark up there. I think this should say 1 through, that should say 1 through 5 probably. I'll change that for you. The next one asks you to look at the angles. This doesn't have a picture, but it has the angle numbers. So if we look at the definitions here, the video will talk you through what the specific angle measurements are, but we know a right angle is 90 degrees. So any of these that have a 90-degree angle, I can go ahead and put that circle, drag it right over to the right. It says that if all angles are acute, then my triangle is acute. So I have to look, are all the angles smaller than 90 degrees? Like this one, 30, 72, 78. I can put this one back where we were. So I know this one's going to be acute. If I see one angle that is over 90 degrees, I know it's an obtuse triangle, like this guy right here or this guy right here. There's something goofy about this problem. Think about a triangle with 4 angles and see which option fits. I'm going to leave these for you to finish. Make sure you check out the videos if you have further questions. And then, yeah, Lincoln. 6 through 11 will be your activities tomorrow. So this should say 1 through 5 for today. Sorry about that. Let's look at what else we have today. Would you like some more snacks? For religion, you have 2 pages to complete. For reading, you have the Lewis and Clark assessment. So we're done with the story. Now we're going to just show what you learned from the story. You just need to take this X and drag it over which one you think is the correct answer. For example, if I think C is the answer, I'll drag it right there. You have vocabulary to do and comprehension, just like we normally do in class. This is just a different version of being able to take the test. Just drag the X over the top. And then we'll be done with that story. Some of you have already turned your drafts in, and I'll be looking through those this evening as well as into the weekend. So once you get your draft in, I'll be going ahead and looking at it. If you're still on the outline, work on that. When you finish the outline, go ahead and get to the draft. Like I said the last few days, when you have your outline done, you can copy and paste those and form a cohesive paragraph. You'll be done with your outline or your rough draft in no time once you have your outline done. So take your time on your outline. When you get to the draft, up in the top right corner is a turn-in button. Go ahead and click that so that you turn it into me and I know that you're done. I'll go ahead and go through it. You also have these 2 resources, the checklist as to what you should have in each paragraph and some overall suggestions in terms of being careful with your essay, and the actual rubric. I did use the checklist from the rubric, or I designed the checklist with the rubric in mind, so don't get too bogged down with the details of the checklist, or the rubric I should say, because the checklist has all of the items in it for you to do. Okay, let's continue on here. You need to finish up spelling for lesson 25. For social studies, we're going to be talking about Utah in a specific group led by Brigham Young with the religious group, the Mormons. So you can go ahead and check or work on this activity. So there's 4 questions to answer. And back here I have a Prezi and a PDF. A Prezi is like a digital presentation, and it goes through different shapes, so it's a little bit more intricate than a slides, but they're kind of fun to look at, so it might be some way to change it up from what you're used to. Once you get it loaded, you can either just go through here and press the next button, or you can go full screen so that you can see all of the details and you can just click next. So the fun thing about Prezzies is it actually goes like within the shapes and goes closer. So this is just a bunch of information for you about the topic. If you do not want to use that, you also have this PDF that has a lot of information for you to answer from here as well. So check out these resources to help with the 4 questions on that slide. And you've got 2 pages in your science workbook. I think that tickle my throat, sorry. I think that's all I have for you guys today. Ladies, our meeting will be at 1 p.m. if you are planning on joining us. I was excited to see the boys yesterday and excited to see the girls tomorrow. Lincoln will be joining us like he joined me for the boys meeting today because my husband is working, so get to see Lincoln if you decide to join us. I hope you guys have a really wonderful weekend and get some rest and some sunshine if we get to have nice weather. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon. See you later.